What is going on, guys? MJ2005 Gundam here, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys my bottom 5 Gunpla list of 2020. Now, same rules to apply as the top 5 list. I have to build them in order to give a more concrete opinion. They have to be kits exclusively from 2020. Premium is allowed, but I'm going to be loosening up on the variance rule just because I will not include anything that requires multiple models to create. Let's say the advanced tertium. It deserves to be on the list in my opinion, but that requires 2 different kits to be able to create it, so that will be excluded altogether. So there are going to be 2 core Gundam variants in this list, so I'm going to be loosening up on the variance rule just for this video. I'm also going to be bringing in a 3rd honorable mention to this list just because it is so hard to decide where the kits I've chose for this list belong. So I'm going to be bringing in a 3rd honorable mention just because I feel like I cannot leave it out. You'll see why in a second. Now, just so we're clear, bottom does not necessarily mean the kit is bad. It could mean that the kit is bad, but it can also mean that the kit is underwhelming and leaves much more to be desired. So on with the list. I rambled on for far too long. Starting us off at number 5, we look towards the skies to see falling armor pieces of the high-grade Uraven Gundam. Now, I've rated this kit at a 7.5 out of 10, maybe because due to the initial hype, but it is also thanks to the good looks, the functions of the Uraven Gundam being all there, and it unlocks more possibilities of customizing your core Gundam. But that's basically about it. The 2.5 marks are deducted for all the loose pieces. Let's say the hard points on the shoulders and the shoulder armor themselves, the rifle extensions not liking to stay on the core hanger, and of course we do have the issues with the core Gundam, loose manipulators, loose polycaps, loose core defensor, and the loose core defensor nose cone. Anything attributed to loose parts are deducted within those 2.5 marks. Now, it's not necessarily a bad kit, but it is annoying. But those issues can easily be fixed. I just really hoped that Bandai would have made this kit a little bit better, have refined the engineering on the Uraven Gundam before releasing out to the public market, because I bought 4 of these things and painted 1 of them. Those issues are still present. Next up, we wait at the gates of hell to greet the high-grade Death Knight, aka Toad's Ritter. Now, it is lamentable why this kit is on this list, just because the core kit itself, excluding the backpack, is phenomenal. I really do like the imposing height profile and silhouette. I really do like the implementations of little mechanics to allow for the joints to get out of the way of the design, just for maximum articulation. The stickers themselves are alright because people have been telling me that I've been too harsh on the vent stickers because they are necessary to create the Hades mode, and of course, some of them can really be color separated on the budget of a high grade. But the fact of the matter is, there are so many stickers on the accessories, it's just not funny. And of course, you do have the backpack. The incoms themselves are pretty good, the wires themselves are pretty good, they can hold on the incoms no problem. It's just the fact that the binders themselves, the port that the wire is supposed to plug into, cannot grip onto the wire hard enough for them to stay where you want them to stay. Not only that, the binders themselves, they're plugged onto a stupid polycap that whenever you try to move the Toad's Ritter, the binder would just fall off because the connections aren't stable. It's even worse on this kit because it is heavy. So, even though the main kit is good, the color separation is questionable, but mildly understandable. Bandai has just really buried this kit for good just because of what they did to the signature features, i.e. the incoms and the color separation on the freaking shield. Moving on to number 3, this kit has downsides that majorly eclipses its upsides. It's the high-grade Extreme Gundam Eclipse phase. Now, don't get me wrong, at the end of the day, I still like this kit and I still do appreciate and am thankful for my friend giving this to me as a birthday present for my 19th birthday. So, thank you so much if you're watching. But the downsides of this kit trumps all the upsides and what this kit means to me. Now, I do appreciate Bandai putting in the effort to update the face to make it look more modern and look better in overall. But I think they could have gone for a whole new mold for the Extreme Gundam. Just because the old mold is terrible for its time, let alone now. Because it does not have good articulation and the proportions are all out of whack. Not to mention that the Eclipse pack itself is not really that good. Now the shoulder armor, I do appreciate what they've done for it because they couldn't have done any better, to me at least. But the leg binders, they could have gone for clear pieces for the sticker. And of course the stickers on the Carnage Striker and Eclipse cluster. All of the metallic blue could have gone for clear pieces in my opinion. Not to mention the rifles. A third party company can implement clear pieces for the sticker parts on Bandai's variable cycle rifles. So I don't know what they're doing there. If they put out the budget a little bit higher, then they may have been able to implement the clear pieces into the rifles themselves. Now I have to mention this again, I still like the Extreme Gundam at the end of the day, and I will plan to pick the Type Leo's one up whenever it comes out in shops in Hong Kong, but you cannot deny that there's much more to be desired with the Extreme Gundam, especially if they're going to be pushing out packs like this. Up next at number 2, we have the high-grade Marchosias, effortlessly wiped out by the Pale Rider. Now, this kit, I have so much to talk about, because the Gundam frame that is used for this kit, this particular print itself, is not really that good. And there are so many color apps that are missing. Like, I'm pulling my hair out as I'm recording this just because thinking back to the time that I tried to detail this up to the best I could, it was just so frustrating. Not to mention the fact that the wings are loose at the core joints, even though I did have a painted build of the Marchosias. I think you guys have seen it multiple times, but they are still floppy inside of the backpack. The manipulators of the sub-arms, they do not stay on well. The railguns themselves, they're implemented badly. Not to mention the freaking bastard mace. That thing is just the most frustrating weapon that I have ever experienced in building Gunpla. Maybe there's a close second somewhere down the line, but for now, that thing is just the most frustrating thing I have ever experienced, and I will never allow my Gunpla to use the bastard mace at all. Not to mention the fact that there are so many stickers that could have been plastic pieces. For example, the fins on the shoulder armor and the gigantic red blob that is on the waist sub-arms. There is just so much that Bandai could have done to make this kit better, considering how hyped people are for the design. It's just hard to stomach the fact that it's just a lackluster kit that could have been so much better. I really hate to put it in the bad category, but it is actually not that good when compared to a lot of the Gunpla, even on the same line. But the Marchosias has nothing on the rabbit that we have to dig out of our backyards. This time, the high-grade TR1 Haze'n-thley Ra II. Now this kit is one kit I would confidently say is properly bad on this list, just because of the Hududu 2 units getting in the way of everything, and especially the units on the waist not staying on at all, and the fact that they did not even give us stickers for the phallic subarm dummy that is on the back, and the matter of not being able to move anything at all on this kit, even though it did keep the updated articulation of the TR1 Haze'n-thley due to the fact that everything gets in the way. Like, that I would not mind even on the Haze'n-thley Ra second form, but the fact of the matter is, with all the loose pieces that are in this kit, it's just frustrating to move this kit around. Not to mention the fact that it is freaking expensive. I could literally trade this kit in for a high-grade Penelope Gundam. It's that expensive. Not to mention the fact that there is also a lot of leftover parts that I cannot even be bothered to deal with, because I don't know what the hell I could use all those parts for. The kit being bricked is the least of my concerns, but if you brick it with pieces that make whatever is left of the handling frustrating to handle, then I might as well trade this kit in for the Penelope, please. Anybody could do the trade with me? Thank you very much. Now moving on to dishonorable mentions that I would attempt to gloss over, but they are placed in no particular order, so don't take the order for what it is. Starting us off with the high-grade Geminis Unit 1. Now this kit has only been saved by the good looks, the well-implemented accessories, and the upgrade packs that are going to be sold for it. If not for that, it would have been an official entry on the list. Now, yeah, this kit does not have good articulation in a completely new mold, considering the fact that it only has 90-degree bends on the arms and legs, even though they are using a double joint. And on my particular copy, the swinging joint for the legs is loose. I've heard from other people that they do not have this issue. It's just me picking out the ugly duckling by mistake. So yeah, I'm gonna write that off as a separate occasion, but the fact of the matter is, it's not an engineering marvel, and it's not even matching up to modern kits when it comes to the articulation. But thank God we have the upgrade packs to hinder that even more, so I'm not going to complain about that anymore in this list. Next up on the list, we do have the Re-Rising Gundam as our second dishonorable mention. Now, this kit could have been higher on the list, but I've only semi-experienced it due to the fact that I do not own the Grand Cross color version of the Re-Rising Gundam. Someone had been telling me that it is a different experience when compared to the standard color version, so I'm gonna give that a pass. So I'm gonna speak from my own experiences with the standard color version, which is terrible just because of the Aegis Knight parts that have been used for the Re-Rising Gundam. Plus, after you've gone through all the torture to fix the issues and dock the entire thing and handle it, put it in a good pose, all you get is a big bot that can only summon beam sabers. So if you're not going for the imposition that is the Re-Rising Gundam, I'd rather you separate the four and display them as a separate team. Now finally, in our third dishonorable mention slot, we have the Lord Astray double remake. Now a lot of people have brought up that the Astray that is housed inside of the double remake armor is pretty good, and I will attest to that. Apart from the thigh joint splitting apart whenever you try to rotate the legs by the thighs, it is still a pretty good kit, so I will want Bandai to reuse the mold for future Lord Astray variants, i.e. the Lord Astray Omega. But there is no denying the fact that Bandai has mucked up the engineering of the double remake rifle, aka its signature feature, because the double remake rifle doesn't stay on well on the shoulders, not even on the adapter that allows for the double remake rifle to be compatible with other kits, and the trusty Hagen tips do not stay in the ball joints that they are supposed to stay in well at all. The design itself is another matter, because not a lot of people are a fan of the overall design of the Lord Astray double remake, not to mention that the reversal form has even less of a fan base from what I can tell. And even though the fluid transformation does allow for merit for the reversal form, the design itself, especially with the blunt fingertips, is just not really to my taste. So overall, this kit still leaves much more to be desired. But please Bandai, Lord Astray Omega high grade please. I don't care if it's premium, just make it. So that wraps it up for the bottom 5 kits of 2020 plus 3 dishonorable mentions. So tell me in the comments below what you think of the list itself, how you modify it, and what other kits deserve to be on this list when it comes to kits of 2020. So that's it for me. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you did like it, please be sure to drop a like, comment, and also subscribe for more Gunpla reviews, Gunpla news, and all that kind of stuff. Subscribe to the featured channels on my channel page if you haven't, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.